What's up? It's your girl Q. I am your host, Vaquita Taylor. Welcome to Creative Emotions Podcast. Listen, where we are going to have good conversations. You're going to get these good vibes, this good energy. Did I mention this good vibes? Listen, I am so glad you guys are here with me this evening. Welcome, welcome. Do me a favor and share this video. Tag a few of your friends that are married because we are going in about marriage today. Tag a few people and let them know, get on here. Come on in here and sit down and let's kick it. And you can call in as well. This is we're gonna be kicking it. 313-855-5737. So when the lines open up, you can give me a call so we can talk about it. Listen, you can reach me at creativeemotions3@gmail if you are looking for a sponsor. If you want me to sponsor you, you can give me a call. You can email me, creativeemotions3@gmail. There are opportunities for your product, for your business to be sponsored. So reach out on that level. You can reach me on Facebook at Creative Emotions 4. You can reach me on IG at Q Rising. You can YouTube, subscribe to my channel, Vaquita Taylor. Go on YouTube and subscribe. I would really love to have you there. I am trying to, boost up the YouTube. I do everything on Facebook. So, we got to spread our wings so we can fly into different areas. So I would appreciate if you can support me with that. I want to give a big shout out to Podcastic and WGOD Network. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this awesome platform. And if you're interested in this platform yourself, there is opportunities for you to start your own podcast. And so you reach out to them for that. Again, the number is 313-855-5737. We on there? Oh, yeah, we on there. Look at me. No, I'm just kidding. So, again, give me a call at 313-855-5737. So the topic today is giving up on marriage. Are you giving up on marriage? Whether you are currently married, thinking about marriage, whether you know someone that's in a marriage or trying marriage, are you giving up on marriage? Are you giving up on the thought of marriage? Because a lot of people are right now. And so in this generation, marriage has become a stage play. Stage play is a play that's performed on stage rather than broadcasted or made into a movie. And so I made that example because a stage play has people watching. And a lot of the times, like I've seen the most expensive weddings and parties and just in the engagement of it all, and they get married and it's over in the blink of an eye. And so we go back to the drawing board, like, what are we really doing? What is marriage really? Is it holding any weight right now? And it should be. So the reason I reference play again is because it has an audience. And in your marriage, you will have an audience, but it is real life. It's real life issues, it's disappointments, it's happy moments, it's disagreements, it's dislikes, but it should be one of the closest, the best relationships that you would literally ever have. Like, if you think about that, this is the closest. If the Bible is telling us you leave your mother and your father and you cleave to your mate, that is the closest relationship you will ever have. If it's telling you to put your spouse before your children, and your children literally came from you, this is the closest relationship you will ever have. And so I'm here today to just tell you, marriage is honorable. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Don't let the society, these TV shows, these housewives and this stuff make it look like it's so disposable. It's not. Marriage is a beautiful thing. So a house divided against itself cannot stand. That is a quote from Abraham Lincoln. The biggest attack right now is families and marriages, because those are the tightest, like I told you, the tightest, most intimate relationships that you can have, and they make the most difference. So if it's harder to conquer it, the enemy will get in and divide and conquer. And so when you stick together, when you hold together on this thing and understand the value of it, it becomes a testimony for everybody. Your marriage is literally a testimony. Again, a backstory. I was married for 11 years. It was rough. I got married when I was very young, and I grew to understand the different things that go on in your marriage. It's supposed to make you stronger, but it can also beat you down to a place where you just want out. You just want out. You like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm done. But guess what? You're going to run into another person with those same things, some same qualities, some same issues, and you're going to have to deal with the bottom line is relationships are not that disposable. So I want to encourage you in that. I know we are in a culture where it's like, oh, they gone, I replace them, on to the next. It's not that easy. Because at the end of the day, we have to face ourselves. So I want you to look at Ephesians 6:12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And so, no, you may not have the same blood as your spouse, but we are still family. We are still brothers and sisters before anything in Christ. So when you think about that, all of this fighting we doing, all of this tension is going on, we're not wrestling against each other. We're wrestling against the things that we cannot see. And when you understand that this is a spiritual fight, this is a spiritual battle, then we can fight with the right tools. They're not natural. The things that we're fighting against, this, phones, busting out windows and breaking TVs and flattening tires and, going crazy, domestic violence, you hitting, you angry because the love for yourself is not there. We don't wrestle against each other. We wrestle against the spirit. And the one thing I notice is we go before God, we go before these witnesses and we vow. I promise to be this. I vow to do this. I swear on this, or I promise on that. And we come up with these vows that sound so good. But do you really understand what you're saying and what you're doing? We are going before a living God and we are vowing to do these things. Okay, some people may not get married in the church, may not even believe in God, but I'm talking to those that do. You get married in front of God and a cloud of witnesses, and you say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And soon as something goes wrong, what do? We go to the cloud of witnesses and not the God that we vow to. So I want to encourage you, if you are married, are you giving up on your marriage? Don't give up on your marriage. Don't give up on being married. Don't give up on the ideal of marriage because it's a beautiful thing. But guess what? You can't leave the main principle out. You can't leave the main ingredient out, God. You cannot. And that is how people have been trying to operate in this thing called marriage. We are trying to do it with our own abilities, and it's nothing we have to do by ourselves. Nothing. You don't have to do it by yourself. But I want you to really ask yourself, have I given up? Have I made the declaration that I'm good? I don't want to get married. I don't want the problems. I don't want this. Because the words that you speak will be the fruit that you will have to eat eventually. So I want you to be mindful of that. Be careful with your words. Because in the moments we can be angry, we can be frustrated, but the words that we say shapes our world. And so we have to be careful with that. I just want to let you know, marriage is a beautiful thing. People always say, like, you've been married, you've been divorced, and how you feel this way about marriage, because marriage is a beautiful thing. And when you grow, you understand what you're really dealing with. Yes, I had issues in my marriage. I was a issue in my marriage. I can really, you have to sit there and hold yourself accountable. But I was growing in my marriage, and you're going to forever be growing in your marriage. The thing is, you have to know what to fight. What to fight is the things that are around you, not in your home. Everybody's fighting in their home. Is so much tension and anger and resentment. And so we have to get down to the bottom of this thing. But the bottom line is marriage is beautiful. And don't let nobody tell you anything different. Marriage is the closeness. It brings the intimacy that can come from it without even being touched. You don't even need to be touched to be intimate. Listen, people missing it. Because everybody want to have sex. You have sex, and then what? And then you in a situationship. Then you in something that you have a soul tie, an illegal soul tie from. And you wondering why. I can't stop thinking about him. I don't know why. This, every time I think about him, my body get to moving and shaking. And because you've allowed that spirit in you. And it's a good thing. Guess what? Because when you're married, you're supposed to have a soul tie. And you're supposed to feel that for your spouse. And you're supposed to feel that for the person that you vow to spend the rest of your life with. But we taking our own steps, and we are looking for the marriage in the mess. Marriage is a beautiful thing. It's honorable. It is to be desired. Why don't we desire it? Because we are doing the mess, and we're looking for the marriage. Even though in the marriage, it can be some mess. But guess what? It's accountability. We have to hold ourselves accountable. That's a huge thing. So, as I stated before, have you given up on marriage? That's a question to ask yourself. And I want you guys to call in too, because I want to hear your view about marriage and how you feel about marriage. That number is 313-855-5737. You can give me a call and we can talk about it. This question is for singles, it's for married, it's for those that are separated but are currently occupied. That's the thing. You can be separated and occupied. You're not giving yourself time to even reconsider your separation because you're occupying yourself with other people, and it's unfair. I've even seen on dating sites, men on there talking about separated. If you don't go have several seats, sir, go sit down. Why are you even on a dating site if you're separated? You're not available. Let's start there. You're not available. So those who have been married before, I'm talking to you. Have you been giving up on marriage, the ideal of marriage, just being married? Are you married and don't want to be married? Are you giving up on marriage? Have you been so turned off with the thought of marrying someone because of fear? Like, as soon as you think about it, it's fear, it's anxiety, it's doubt. You thinking infidelity, everybody's cheating, Is that one of the things that come up? Because that's a real thing. When we look around and we see the value of women, how women are devaluing themselves sometimes. And men are going with the flow. A lot of men not going to stop you from devaluing yourself. And so is that something that goes through your mind? Like, ain't nobody serious and everybody on that bull, or, what really goes through your mind? I'm here to encourage you. Do not give up. Don't give up on your marriage. Don't give up with the thought of being married. Don't give up. If you are separated, look at ways to reconcile. Guess what? Because you're going to come out here and you're going to deal with the same thing, just a different person. Because with anything, hard work is necessary. Hard work is necessary, and the only thing we can do with that is definitely count the cost. Marriage is just like a business. It takes effort. You got to have meetings, outings, dates, a business plan for the future, an objective, a goal. What are we doing? Because it's not just sex, honey. Because when that thing stopped working, then what? When she stopped working, then what? If something happened and you can't do that, then what? What is your foundation with that? Because sex, it's real big, right? Sex is awesome, is wonderful. It's for marriage. It's a beautiful thing. But guess what? When you can't do it, then what? What are you holding on to? What is it? You should have a plan for the month, the year, together. Doing this thing together, it takes effort. Revamping it. Revamp. Go back. What are we doing? What happened? Where did we go wrong? And where can we fix it? That is the main job of a woman and a man that has entered into a marriage, or a woman and a man that is looking to marry. These are the kind of conversations that need to be had. So it's important. You get evaluated at a job, right, for your performance. So should a husband and wife. You should get evaluated. We should come to the table. Excuse me. I want to talk to you about the last 3 months of this marriage and what's been happening and how I feel like you can do better, and tell me what ways do you feel like I can do better. If we can do that at a job, why can't we do that to the place we go and lay our head? We eat our food, change our clothes, rest our bodies, supposed to be resting our mind and refreshing and getting ourselves back together. Why is home the last place people want to go to? Because some of these things should take place. You should sit down and you should evaluate yourself and them. There's nothing wrong with that. The same things we do out in the natural, we can do in our homes. What better relationship to go hard for? You go hard for your job. You go get the union. You go get everybody. Listen, you call Attorney Carl Collins, something go wrong. You go in for your job. The same way you should go in for your spouse. You should go in. Why not? Some things you just can't come back from. Let me put a whole disclaimer out there. Yes, I decided to get a divorce because it was some things I felt like I could not get back from at that time. There are things that I did wrong, things that I know as a woman now, as a grown woman making conscious decisions, I know would not sustain a marriage. But I know. And you're supposed to grow from the things that go wrong. And when you do that evaluation and you get a negative mark, don't get mad. No, don't get mad. You take it, eat it, and fix it. Okay? I said it. I said what I said. I sure did. So change is good. You oil the machine and get it back working again. Do what you got to do. Like you don't deal with the same person year to year. And I know we like to think that. I know, people might, Miles, you call me Meg, right? Yeah, I'm not going to look like this forever. Okay? But whenever I do get married, he's going to enjoy my now. And then when I change in a year or two from then, he's going to have to enjoy that now. Listen, we change from year to year. Men go through changes. We go through changes. It's up to us to compromise, be understanding, and know, like, okay, there's some things going on. It's not going to be like it used to. And that's the main reason people divorce. You're not like you used to be. It ain't going to be how it used to be. Make it better. I'm not the same 23-year-old as I am now with my age. So things are going to be different. Age changes things, and that's okay. So people change, and we have to be mindful again to be able to compromise. Age ain't nothing but a number is a lie. Don't dance. It's a lie. It is a lie. Age matters. Age matters. And make sure you know why it matters. Why does it matter to you? Age is a big thing. If you're an older man and you're dealing with a younger woman, you have to count your costs. Is she done? Is she ready? Do she want to sit at home and just sit with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to count those costs. You're dealing with an older woman. She ain't doing all that extra stuff. You have to figure out what it is you want, but don't give up on marriage. If you're married, don't give up on your marriage. Some marriages need to dissolve. If they are truly toxic, y'all over there beating each other up, these kids are seeing the foolishness and they don't know whether they coming or going. Nobody done sat down and even looked each other in the eye. Either get some help or keep it moving. So I am talking to those marriages that can be salvaged. I'm talking to those that are trying to operate in their flesh, because I want to let you know, flesh will never be it will never be satisfied. Never. You're going to always want more. Your flesh is going to drive you, but it's about what you're feeding. So I just want you to be mindful of that. Be serious about this thing called life. This is an honor to be here. It's an honor to spend your life with someone. It's an honor to be married. Just think about that. Think about the reason why you don't want to be. Think about the reasons why you say, you know what, you got a man that say, well, I don't know if I want to be married. And you going along with that and you know you want to be married. Stop playing with yourself and stop playing with him. And you stop playing with her. And however it go, it can be both ways. There is no man or woman situation here. It's either or. Know what you want, but be strong in understanding the great things and benefits that come from being married. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So statistics show in 2021, in the United States, about 50% of married couples divorce. The sixth highest divorce rate in the world. And it breaks my heart that I'm a part of that number. Probably not 2001, but I'm a part of the divorce number, right? You know better, you do better. And so this is just a nugget. This is just something to come through your ears, something to prick your heart, to let you know that marriage is beautiful. Don't give up on marriage. Don't give up on the idea of marriage. I got to keep saying it. Because you got to know, you got to hear my heart with this. So this is not even speaking on the second time marriage and divorce and the third time marriage and divorce, and we can go on and on and on. People are not disposable. You think you can just be like, oh, I'm just going to throw you away and get somebody new. Okay. You can, but we're always going to deal with different people. They are individuals. They're going to have things that you don't like. It's going to be things that you don't agree on. It's going to be something. So you got to see what's important to you, but don't give up on it. Who got time for that? Because we don't know how much time we have, really. So really be in the moment with your families. If you have a family, if you're engaged and you've been engaged forever, go ahead and get married. What are you waiting for? What are you doing? Well, I mean, what are we doing here? I don't understand. I talk to people and people that have children, and they say, I ain't ready for marriage. You're not ready for marriage, but you ready to bring a whole human into this world? I'm confused. That's kind of backwards. And we really have to think about what we're bringing children into when it comes to not being married and not having that balance in the family. So a few don'ts to consider. Whether you're in or out of marriage or you're considering it or whatever it is, I have a few don'ts. So going into, like I said, or being married, the what if it don't work attitude. So a lot of people are going into relationships and marriages, getting married, saying, but what if it don't work? And so you have that will put your relationship in an automatic danger zone. Danger zone. Danger zone. You know, what's his name? Samuel always had that danger zone talking about the age. What's his name? Kevin Samuels?
Kevin Samuels.
Talking about danger zone with the age. How about danger zone with the what if it don't work mentality when you just starting something out? You just damned it. You just damned it. What if it don't? You got backup friends. You know, you got the little, you know, I just keep her, you know, keep him over to the side because, you know, what if it don't work? You got backup bank accounts. You know, I got to keep a stash. Grandma always told me to put money in a drawer. Or he told me, I ain't about to let her know all the money I got. You got this backup stuff, backup house or apartment. I mean, because she ain't going to put me out or he ain't going to put me out. I need to have my own. Your marriage, your relationship is doomed if you go into anything with that mentality. It's toxic. You're not giving your relationship, your marriage, a fighting chance. Marriage is honorable, it's beautiful, and it is something to desire. I just want to keep reminding you of that. You're not giving your relationship a chance when you have the just in case situations, when you have the just in case, or, you know, something might happen. Now, I don't know. That's doubt. You coming into something with doubt? Doomed. 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 Example. I was talking to this man at my job. And I said, I don't know why, you know, the Lord bring people to me. And I say, Lord, whatever you want me to say, use me. And this man said with a straight face, and I respected the fact that he was so real. He said, I love my wife. I love my wife. But I got a girlfriend. He said, and my girlfriend can't have nobody else. Okay. That's interesting. You know, he said it with a straight face. People are really on this tip. He said it with a straight face. My wife, I love my wife. She ain't going nowhere. But my girlfriend, who the young lady was young and he was older, no children, but that's your girlfriend. And she can't talk to other people. She can't do nothing. But you got a whole wife? That's a whole mess. And I told him. I kept it so 100 with him. He kept on talking. He wanted to keep getting these jewels. But guess what? I left him with a prayer. But he said he went bike riding. He said, my wife would love to do this. But I ain't never did it with my wife. Wow. He said, I went on a picnic with this girl. My wife would love to do that. But you not going to do it with your wife? Which leads to my next point. Keep your energy in-house. What are we doing? Lord, help today. What are we doing? Keep your energy in your home. You spreading yourself thin. You're all over the place. You can't even have a conversation because you're dozing off. You're tired. You're doing too much. That's with women and men. Keep your energy in your home. Why? Why spread yourself so thin? What do you have to prove? I know sometimes with age, people want to feel like, they still got it, whatever. Get over it. You had it. You still got it, especially if you got a wife, especially if you got a husband. You still got it. Just work that out at home. And if you are desiring marriage, don't exhaust your singleness. And I'm going to elaborate on that. Don't get out here and be like, oh, I'm single. I'm about to, you wear yourself out. Because if you desire marriage, then you should be ready when he or she comes. Not full of all these different spirits because you done attached yourself to everybody. You done been to all the clubs. You done hung out. You got bags under your eyes. You just out here. Because at the end of the day, you still should be living for the life that you want. And if you desire marriage, running yourself down is going to come back later on. So we got to be mindful. I'm single. I'm a single woman. You got to be mindful and take care of your singleness. Take care of it. It's a prized possession. Because when you do get married, you have a partner. You have an accountability partner. You have somebody that should be your best friend, but they also will probably get on your nerve. And that's okay. So you dealing with different spirits, different energy, trying to juggle it. It's exhausting. It has to be. I personally, I can't talk to a whole bunch of people. It's too much. It's too much. And I'm definitely not going to lie about a thing. You definitely have to be authentic in who you are as a single person, as a married person. Because when you lie, you got to keep up with lies. Just be who you are and be prepared and ready for what it is that you want. Make that space for those of you that are single. Make that space for the person that you want. Make that space. Ask yourself, why am I getting married? If you want to get married. Why did I get married? If you are in a rough place, you want to just ask yourself that. We have so many outside determining factors that push people into premature marriage. Because once you in it, you in it. And it's still an honorable covenant. It's still a thing to desire. So when you in it, why did you get in it? How did you get in it? When you get back to the how and the why, you can get back to being in the present moment. Like, okay, yeah, I did marry you because I seen this and seen that. I did want this because of that and this and that. And a lot of times, again, those outside influences, you have people that are pressuring you to get married. A lot of people, it's a lot of pressure that's going around. Status. You know, everybody want to be like, you know, my husband. That's status. Oh, I have to check with my husband. You know, putting your hand all up with everything, touching everything with your ring. It's a beautiful thing, but make sure you do that when you mad too. Make sure you do that when you feeling some type of way. Make sure you say, my husband, Byron. Make sure you do that, okay? Because that status is not the only reason to get married, but a lot of people do. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. Is it social pressures? You know, a lot of people, these magazines have really done a number on us, pushing us into this single or strong woman, you know, mentality. And then you can't have a strong woman mentality with a strong man because y'all gonna bump heads. So think about that. Is it social pressures that got you into marriage? Or have you desiring marriage? Is it your age? You know, women, we talk about that clock ticking, and a lot of people get pushed into that with their age. Like, I'm this age, and I, you know, it's like your little check off list. Like, I'm supposed to be married at this age. Not if you ain't ready, boo boo. No, you ain't. You can be a 50-year-old fool, men and women, just because of your age. That's not a reason. And if you married and you still worried about your age, you better sit down and work your marriage out, honey. Because out here is the jungle. So sit down somewhere. Church pressure. That's a real thing. Marriage should be talked about. It should be pushed. It should be encouraged. But it should not be pressure. You have to find contentment in your singleness. You have to find out who you are and what you bring to the table in a marriage. It's different things. It's different things that you should be doing while you're waiting and preparing for what you want. If you are married, and are you having church pressure? Are you in church and your spouse not? And so now it's a whole division in your home. Your family come first. Your husband, your wife. Y'all should be praying and doing this thing together. What is the reason why you got married? What is the reason why you want to get married? Is it family acceptance? You know, culturally, a lot of families, you know, you got to be married, or they asking those questions. When you going to get married? When you going to have a baby? When you going to do this? And when you going to do that? That's pressure. Because you may not be ready. You may not be in a space where you're ready. But in order for your father to have, you know, his checks, and your mother, you know, she want this before she pass, or whatever it is, it's pressure. And so you need to acknowledge those things around you and move accordingly. Knowing your role, a lot of us need to know our role. And I know that's probably taboo. Know my role? What you mean? Know my role? Yes, you're a grown person and you need to know your role. A man and a woman coming together, being married, have roles. In order to have balance, in order to have that completeness, you need to have roles. And everybody needs to play their part so that you can have harmony in your home, so that you can keep honey on the moon. You need that. So knowing your roles in marriage is a huge thing. So you have to understand the person that you choose. What I don't understand is, why do people go in like they accept you, but then as soon as they get you, they want to change you? Why is that? I feel like, I think everybody's a little guilty of that, because you see potential. And so you're like, yeah, I like that. But, if this can change and, that little bit. And then as soon as you get a minute, bam, why don't you do this and do this and do this and do that and do this and do. From men and women, it's not just women. That's a real thing. So just questioning yourself, like, do I really know this person that I'm choosing? Or do I really know this person that I married? Because if you married, then date again. Start over. Why not? Your marriage is the most intimate relationship that you will ever have. Why not start over again? So I've seen people get mad at gender reveals. Literally start crying, stump away, fall out. I'm here to tell you, you can't choose what gender you're going to have. You can't choose your family. But guess what you can choose? Your mate. So choose wisely. And if you are already in there, don't go talking about, I need to choose. No, you've already chosen. So work on what you have. So there are a few things we can choose, like I said, and your spouse is one of them. And we talk about roles and expectations and being authentic and real, and stop just talking about things that sound good. My biggest fear with divorce, with getting divorced, was dating. Oh my God. Like, I'm being so real. Dating someone and getting to know them, you got to learn about what they like, their food, now you got to ask if you got some diseases, like, was you born this way? Like, it's exhausting. So that was like my biggest fear, but it also should be the best time for you to take your time and get to know people. Having your mind what you want, but don't put everybody in that category. Everybody is not that. Everybody is not the one. You're dating to get to know them. And when you see it's going too far, you just pull back a little bit. Pull back. I had to tell myself that. Wait a minute, simmer down, lady. Pull back. Date people. Get to know them. No titles. None of that serious stuff. Just get to know people. Talk about the freaking weather. Talk about anything. But make sure you get those good questions in if, in fact, you know that y'all on the same page and, according to certain things. But a lot of times, listen, the pressure is on. It's real and it's on. When it comes to marriage, when it comes to just being sacred in your marriage, people do not honor marriages. You have people go after married people right now. They go after them. Some people won't date anything but married. You got a target on your head if you're married. The enemy coming for you. You said what? You said you vow to do what? Through what? Okay, let's see. And a lot of times, that's what happens. They come at you. The pressure is on. The pressure is real. So you have to stand in that fight. You got to understand your why. Go back to that why. Why did I do this? Why did I want this? Why do I want this? And make sure you understand it. That means when you get in it, you'll be able to hold it together because your why is going to be your glue. So divorce tears up not just your home. It tears up the community. It tears up the generations. It tears up our children's future. Divorce is toxic. It is a cancer. It's horrible. So don't go in a marriage thinking about divorce because it's doomed. If you do that, it's doomed. We already know. We already know divorce is that's the end of it, right? And it's a horrible thing, but don't go into something that's supposed to be beautiful, something that's supposed to be life-changing, something that's supposed to make your life better, thinking about the death of that beautiful thing. The cleanup after divorce, after it ripped through like a tornado, and you got to go back and clean up, and you don't even know in places that you were hurt and different things that had happened, and it's too much. And so to avoid getting to that end, that death, if you think about every move you make and consider the next person, that will take you a long way. Just consider your why. The how. How did I allow darkness in? Taking accountability and responsibility for your part. I definitely did. Honey, listen. I was that strong woman that can tear you up with my mouth. Not cussing you out, because I don't use profanity. But I would tear you up, and I would get into those places that I know that would affect you. But it was always prompted, and it's not an excuse, but it's still a thing. It's doing things without considering the next person. I was that person. And it's not good. Especially if you want a man, and I'm speaking as a woman, if you want a man that can lead, you can't be in the driver's seat and the passenger seat at the same time. You got to pick one. And if you want to be in the driver's seat, then you might as well go ahead and get you a cat and go ahead and settle that. But don't expect for a real man to sit in the passenger seat while you drive. We got to know our roles. That's a thing. So fix what can be fixed intentionally. And I am speaking to married people at this time as I wrap this up. Fix what can be fixed intentionally. Do things on purpose, not by mistake. We don't cheat by mistake. Nope. You don't slip, trip, and bust up in something by mistake. We do things on purpose. We do things, we know how we dress, we know our intentions, we know what we want, and yes, things can happen. But that same energy, put it into your marriage intentionally. Put it into your desire to get married intentionally by getting yourself prepared to be the person that you would want to deal with. Are you somebody that you want to deal with? That's huge. That's something that we need to think about. So fully invest yourself into the type of relationship that you want. fully invest yourself. That means you take out the, what if it don't work? That means you take out the, all that just in case, and I got this, and that's just my friend. If you done slept with somebody, y'all not friends. I said it. I said what I said. If you married and you have slept with someone and you got them on the side talking about that's my friend, you see my face? Nope. Nope. Reconsider. Consider the other person. That's a real thing. And I'm speaking by experience. Nope. Because that will always be a person that you can confide in. That will be always a person that can easily get back into tiptoeing with. And so don't set yourself up. Don't allow the enemy to set you up. Period. So I want to leave you with 6 benefits of being married. 6 of them this is what I came up with. Your finances, just having better tax breaks, and you can do things together. 2 are better than 1. So don't let nobody tell you that, okay? All that, this power and this movement. Listen, 2 are better than 1. It's never okay to be alone and to have that in your mind that is never a person that will be a right fit for you. Just break that on up. Just break it up. Sex. Being monogamous with one person, trying new things, doing what you do. That's a whole nother, come on, that's a benefit. But because we over here in the mess, we not indulging in what's supposed to be for marriage. We in the mess. It's a no-brainer. So time. 2 is better than 1. Working together, you don't have to spread yourself too thin, because that's how it's supposed to be. You should have somebody that you can be with. Having a partner and not being alone. But you have to make that time and be intentional, because, you try to stay away from home, everybody everywhere. No, make that time and build your home. Build your home with that love and that peace and that good energy, and clean up and do it together and just change up your atmosphere. That's a benefit of being married. Your children being raised in a balanced home. That's a benefit. That is a real benefit for them to say, Mom, Dad, you ain't got to be talking about you're going over your daddy's house and you're going over your mama's house, and all this. They getting raised 2 different ways because everybody different. It's just too much. It's too much, and it doesn't have to be that way. But if it is, then you work it out. But if it's not, don't let it be that way. These are benefits to being married. And the last thing is generational health, wealth, benefits to marriage, finances, sex, being in a monogamous relationship. You don't got to worry about coming home with the EBGBs and spending time together. You're having a partner, not being alone. Your children being raised in a balanced home, and generational wealth. Listen, this has been my time. I pray that you guys have heard my heart, that you can see the seriousness of marriage and how beautiful it is. And if you want to get married, that you do not kill your desire to get married, but that you will continue to work on yourself and make yourself that person that you would like to be married to. Be a pleasure to be around. Be that person that people would love to be around you, would love to even consider you as a husband or a wife. Be that person. So while you're waiting, you can be working. You can be working you. I ain't talking about working, and everything ain't about money. But you can be working on you, making sure that you're whole, making sure you're healed, and making sure that you're happy with yourself first. I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Meet me here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. where you're going to get this good energy, these good vibes, and we're going to kick it. You're going to get some information. You hear me? So I thank you guys so much. I pray that this has been a blessing. If it helped one person, it's done its job. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.